Today in Arena, we are back on the Ether Grift, and I feel like shit. I think I sound like shit. I think I look like shit. You can see my eyes are streaming. My nose is blocked. I do not feel good. It's a combination of a cold and hay fever, which it feels kind of bullshit that you can have a winter illness and a spring illness kick in at the same time. Nevertheless, it is kicking my ass today. We're going to try and fight through the brain fog and rack up some wins and clean up a little bit before... so it's Friday as I'm recording this, which means the Arena Direct Duskmorn Sealed starts later today, so I'm going to be streaming that. But if we have an absolutely disastrous draft today, as a result of me feeling like crap, then that is not going to be a pretty sight later. Anyway, let's jump into a draft. Let's get going. Let's see what we can get done. Well, what do we got here? Pick one, pack one, Sky Seer Chariot. Pretty bad card in Limited. Other interesting stuff. There's Fang Druid Summoner, which is quite good, taking it early. Pretty weak pack overall. I think the best card is actually just the Ketrodon. I think Boosted Sloop is great, but don't like taking a 2-color card for my first pick necessarily. There's a fairly high chance we play the Ketrodon no matter what, because it has cycling 2 anyway, so it's pretty safe to just take the Ketrodon. And there's nothing else in this pack I'd really be looking to first pick. So pretty weak, but Ketrodon is okay. So we'll just take that. Now, some good stuff. Better stuff in this pack. There is a Back on Track and a Fang Guardian. These are both excellent cards. There's also a Hazard of the Dunes and a Venom Sac Lagak. So I'm taking a green card here. We could take a Hazard of the Dunes. Fang Guardian also has been pretty fantastic. I think Hazard of the Dunes is just a little bit stronger. I think this is the 4-drop I would choose. In a vacuum, I would take the Hazard of the Dunes. So I'm going to do that here. And we are off to a good green start. So, Zahora's fantastic. Outpace Oblivion is good. Wreckage Wickerfolk is awesome. Broodwagon is... I have had a disaster over time with this card. I do not win games with green-black, but I am willing to try it again. Broodwagon is the highest win rate border, like, signpost uncommon. And we have some good green stuff anyway, so if we do the reanimate thing, then Broodwagon is going to be the way to go. I'm gonna pick up the Broodwagon, and then there's the possibility that we drop the Hazard of the Dunes, we keep the Ketrodon, and we play like white or black-white reanimator. That's also something we could possibly do. Pretty weak pack. The cards I'm interested in are Canyon Vaulter. I think Canyon Vaulter is the best card in the pack. Javelineer, Howler's Heavy, and Venom Sac Lagak. I'm going to take the Venom Sac Lagak and stay firmly in green. Now there's a Defender Rider, which I think is good. But there's a Veloheart Bike, and given how much green we've got, I'm going to take the Veloheart Bike here. I think Defender Rider is fine, and I would take this card, but Veloheart Bike is pretty important in these big green decks that do want to ramp. Another Hazard of the Dunes here, a Bleachbone Verge, and a Beast Rider Vanguard, which is a perfectly great 2-drop. Now, there's a consideration for taking the 2-drop, because we do have quite a bit of top end over here, but Hazard of the Dunes is very good. I'm going to take the Hazard, and we'll clean up our 2-drops soon. So, Mutant Surveyor is okay. Gibberic Omnivore is obviously not a very exciting pick, but it is a fine 2-drop. Ride's End is probably better than Gibberick Omnivore and is very splashable. And we do have a Velo Heart Bike and we're in green, so splashing is easier. So I think I'm going to take the Ride's End here on a possible white splash. A lot of white usually is open, so if we can splash white, then I think we would consider doing so. None of these cards are particularly good. I don't know if it's likely that we're going to be in blue-green. I do like Spectral Interference, especially with like Hazard of the Dunes. But I might just take the Guidelight Matrix here. And kind of stay open. I'm going to take the starting column here. Again, still staying open to see what our second color is going to be. So we could take the Scrap Compactor, and that's kind of perfectly fine. Thopterist, though, is a pretty good blue-green card, if that's what we want to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Thopterist, and we'll speculate. We'll speculate on blue-green. It might be that we end up in white. If we do, I think the Surveyor is okay. I really don't think we're going into red. And I think I'm taking the Jaguar here, hoping to find something better. So white definitely is open. And white is... I think white's okay. I do think white's okay. If we wanted to take a green card, we'd be looking at... Neither of these is particularly good. Engine Rat is good if we're in black, but black doesn't seem particularly open after we took this Broodwagon. I think Glory Heath Lynx is very good. It's really strong. So maybe we're taking the Glory Heath Lynx and playing green-white. And that's okay. We have the Ride's End Glory Heath Lynx. We have the Guidelight Matrix, which is honestly not bad in this deck. So let's do it. We've also... Oh, there's a Lumbering World Wagon. That's sick. There's also a Detention Chariot and a Beast Rider Vanguard. Bounce Off, Grim Bauble if we're in black, but absolutely we're just going to Windmill Slam the World Wagon here. So if we're doing green-white, I think Daring Mechanic's pretty fantastic. I do think black's been a bit closed off, and I think the power level of our white cards, we've got Lynx, Ride's End. I could see the green-black being good. But I think I'm going to take the Daring Mechanic here. We have a couple of ramp pieces already. So I'm going to take the Daring Mechanic. It's a great mana sink. Okay, so now this is very interesting. We could definitely take Samet. There's also a spin out. There's nothing else that interesting. I think if it wasn't Samet, it would be Silken Strength or the Goblin Surveyor. But Samet is absolutely worth the splash. We have Starting Column. We have Velo Heart Bike. Yeah, we're taking the Samet here. Probably cutting the Broodwagon. Stock Up is fantastic. Bestow Greatness is quite good. Fang Druid Summoner. Currently not getting anything, not fetching anything. If we do open something for the Fang Druid to fetch, then it's pretty good. Like either a Sundial or a Terrian. So Rise from the Wreck really overperforms in this deck because it gets a creature, a mount, and a vehicle. Like it's likely going to get back a World Wagon, a Velo Heart Bike. We can cycle the Ketrodon. If we do find something with the Fang Druid Summoner, then this gets even better. So I'm going to take that over the second Velo Heart Bike. Malt Tender is pretty decent versus like Lotus Guard Disciple or Brightfield Mustang. I do like the Disciple quite a lot, especially with like World Wagon. But Molt Tender is another creature that does help us fix for the Samet, so I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. Country Roads is probably fine. Better than Brightfield Mustang. Our 4-drops look good, so I guess I'll take the Country Roads and we'll see whether we want to play that. How many creatures have we got? 12. So Brightfield Glider is perfectly fine. Bestow Greatness I do like quite a lot. What's our interaction looking like? We have Ride's End. We have... Oh, is that it? Okay, so we take the Glider. We might play the Sarcophagus. Quick Welder, not really it. Second Guidelight Matrix, not really it. And Dredger's Insight isn't really what we want to do either. And I'm not going to take a second Country Road. Light Wheel Enhancements is not bad. So going into pack 3 here, we have a good start. We do need more interaction. So there's a Ride's End. And we're definitely going to take Ride's End. Mu Yanling is a busted card. Really, really strong. It's just double off color. We're not going to play it. Ride's End is what our deck needs. There's also a Pride of the Road. Maybe I could take Crash and Burns, because we are going to be splashing the Samet anyway. But yeah, Ride's End is the kind of thing that we want to do. There's a Windscarred Crag here. We are going to hit playables. We have a good amount of creatures. Molt Tender would probably maybe replace the Walking Sarcophagus. Beast Rider Vanguard is pretty good too. But I think the deck just gets a little bit better if I take the Windscarred Crag. Now there's a Blossoming Sands, and I very much want to take that. But I think Canyon Volta is so good in this deck. We have got World Wagon, we've got Jaguar. Yeah, we've got enough mounts and vehicles, I think. We have 2 vehicles, 4 mounts. This is just a good aggressive 2-drop anyway. So I'm passing up a land, which is totally fine. So there's the Sundial, but then there's another Ride's End. So if I take the Ride's End, which is what I want to do, I could see taking Ovia as well. Like, giving everything trample could actually be sick. With the Samet and the big creatures that we have. I do wish I could take this Sundial, but I'm not going to pass up Ride's End this late. We need more interaction. So it's looking like Fang Druid Summoner isn't going to make it. Now there's a tune-up. Versus another 2-drop versus a Sky Seer's Chariot. I think I'm taking the tune-up here. Reanimating our Lumbering World Wagon seems very good. Reanimating our Veloheart Bike is not bad. Oh, do you know what? I'm not sure if tune-up's really hitting. But there's nothing else that's that interesting to me. Yeah, nothing else that good. Nesting Bot is fantastic in this deck. Brightfield Glide is also good. Venom Saklagak is fine. So taking the Nesting Bot, a 4th Ride's End is exactly what we need. So I don't think Tune-Up actually gets there because it only hits artifacts and we don't really have that many of those. Maybe we'll play Guidelight Matrix, just maybe. I think everything else looks pretty nice. The 2-drops look okay. Oh, we got the Sundial back. Versus a land versus a Beast Rider Vanguard. I think Beast Rider Vanguard is great. I'm still going to just take the land here. We have playables. I think I'll be a lot happier if I just take the land. And there's a Silken Strength for interaction. Pride of the Road, though, could be a pretty good 2-drop in our deck. Molt Tender for more fixing. That's one I would think about for sure. And a Blossoming Sands is sick. So our land is looking really good. Still don't think Interface Ace is super exciting. Okay, our deck was super open. We were definitely in the right seat. We're definitely in the right seat. This deck looks good. We have lots of options in deck building too. We have loads of things we can do here. Did we get the sundial? I can't remember. Did I take a land instead? I didn't take the sundial, right? So tune up also just not quite getting there for me. Because it like reanimating the World Wagon is amazing, but we do already have Rise from the Wreck. So let's keep those two. Let's keep all these cards out. Interface Ace. No, we actually. I don't think. We'll check now, but I don't think we actually have that many mounts and vehicles. Which is what you want. You want your mounts to be powerful. You don't need them to be, you know, incredible. That's not what I meant to say. You want your mounts to be powerful, not numerous. Which is why I don't really like Brightfield Glider. I like Glory Heath Lynx a lot. The Venom Sack Lagak is good, irrespective of its mount ability. You never, like, you very rarely saddle this thing. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Sorry. Oh, God, I'm so sick. So, yeah, the 5 cards I'm looking at cutting, I'm definitely keeping the Ride's End. I'm not that... I mean, how many creatures have we got? We're at 18 creatures, so we've got some room to cut some. We've got some room to cut some. We have Insane Fixing. We have Insane Fixing. We have Lumbering World Wagon, Veloharp Bike, and then we have 3 on-color dual lands. Wild Roads, maybe. Maybe we'll play it. We do have a lot of... Well, we'll see. We'll see how many mounts and stuff we have. But I do think it's worth us playing to the Samet. I do kind of wish we picked up a the 2-drop with the mana sync ability that searches up permanents, because we don't have a whole lot of card advantage. Still, I think we need to start our engines. We have 1, 2 good start your engines cards. 3. Sarcophagus probably can be cut. Starting column starts your engines. Would I rather have Walking Sarcophagus or Starting Column? I would probably cut the Sarcophagus. I would consider cutting the Starting Column because our fixing is really good. Though I do like Starting Column. Yeah, okay. Let's think about keeping it. Our creatures. So yeah, like having tons of mana is going to be like we have good mana sinks. We have this, like we have the exhaust over here. We have Daring Mechanic as a mana sink. What we could even, like, if we do find our Rise from the Wreck, then we can just mill stuff endlessly with Molt Tender until we find and that's kind of our card advantage. Like, mill stuff, find Samet, Rise from the Wreck, bring Samet back. Still, like, Rise from the Wreck is not all that exciting. And I don't want to cut too many creatures. We do need a high creature count for all of this saddling. I do think Brightfield Glider's got to be on the chopping block, though. I'd rather have Molt Tender to ramp. I think generally Molt Tender is a more powerful card than Brightfield Glider. It's got to be, right? 2/3 flying, but saddle 3 is not easy. It's quite a high saddle cost. None of our 2-drops can saddle it, except for Canyon Volta, and that gives flying anyway. Not many of our creatures can saddle the damn thing. Yeah, okay, so I'm kind of thinking something like this, and I mean, then I like all of the creatures that we've got. I do think Guidelight Matrix is just okay, and our, like, we don't have that many mounts now. We have 3 mounts, 2 vehicles. Velohardt Bike is easy to crew, and you don't really want to crew it that often. World Wagon is a little harder to crew. We did see a couple of Bestow Greatness. It would have been somewhat wise to pick up one of those. 4 Rides End is good. But we are a little light on interaction here. Still, this is... It looks okay. It looks okay. The curve is good. I can't help but think I'm just supposed to cut the starting column and the Guidelight Matrix. Yeah, so then how does this deck look? We have 15 creatures. We have 1, 2, 3 good ways to start our engines, 4 in Pride of the Road, 5 in Samet, but that's all pretty late. But yeah, 3 good ways to start our engines. We have Glory Heath Links. Daring Mechanic can put counters on... Do you know what? Maybe with Daring Mechanic, Possums are good, because you can start putting counters on them. But this can put counters on the Jaguar, the Glory Heath Links, or one of the artifacts, one of the vehicles. It's not amazing. It is still fine. Oh, and the Venom Saklagak, actually. Maybe Daring Mechanic does make the Possum better. Cruise it well, and then it can start growing them, and that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Do I need this freaking Molt Tenders, then? Should I play the Possum instead of the Molt Tenders? Molt Tender is better for fixing. Possum is better for enabling start your engines, like enabling max speed. And then it does make the Daring Mechanic better. It does make Rise from the Wreck a little better. Right now, we have got... Okay, if we're looking at the lands, we've got 7, 8, 9 white sources, 1, 2, 3 red sources, and 5, 6, 7, 8 green sources. That is okay. The one mountain is important for the World Wagon. But the fixing is good. And we don't... I think we don't need the Molt Tenders. Or we could try a split. We could try a split and see which one we prefer. Run the deck like this. Most important color is proactively, it's white, but all of our fixing is green. So we have got 7, 8, 9 white sources, 6, 7, 8 green sources. Should we swap that around? Well, the Glory Heath Links can find A planes. So I do think we swap it around a little bit. Then we run it like this. We have 3 red sources in the Manabase itself. And then we have 2 pieces of fixing in the main deck. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this deck looks solid. We have to be just conscious that our removal is good, but it's expensive if we are winning. It's cheap if we're losing, which is good. We'll need to decide whether we need to save it for bombs, or if we can use it to defend ourselves. But yeah, like ideally, we just got to curve out here. Ideally, we just want to curve out, get to max speed, find big dumb stuff. I think we aren't super aggressive. We can definitely go over the top of our opponents. Just very mid-rangey. Green-white has not been super impressive for me. We don't have any of the signpost uncommons or rares this time. Played a green-white deck recently, which had 2 Caradora and 2 Lagorin, and I think it went 2-3. So let's see if they were the problem, and if green-white is better, if you just play the best of white and the best of green, and none of the white-green. Well, this is a fantastic hand. Opponent goes first, but we can play Brightfield Glider. We can get the World Wagon down. We could cycle the Ketrodon on 2 if we really need to. But with a World Wagon, we should ramp into it. Am I doing anything on 2? You know what? I'd rather play out the 3-drop on curve. So let's just... Okay, Refueler is a very good card, but we are going to just play out our Brightfield Glider here. See if we can go over the top of our opponent's exhaust deck. Okay, they're going to hit us, but we have a fair bit of life gain in hand here, so not too worried. Let's play out the World Wagon. They might have a way to remove it or something. I'm pretty sure I'm not blocking. Oh, it has Vigilance anyway. Read the card. Okay, Roadside Blowout on the 1-1 is awesome. They could have returned the World Wagon. I guess they don't want to give me that value. Okay. God, I'm not paying attention at all. My brain is just a little bit addled. So we can Veloharp Bike, land Veloharp Bike, Molt Tender, Brightfield Glider, and then crew this, use this to crew this, and attack. They have 2 mana up. So we'll start with the bike. Then we'll play the Molt Tender. They might have removal for the World Wagon. I think that is fine, because we have Ketrodon next turn. So let's crew. Cool. Very good. Still fine. Boosted Sloop. So they're going to crew. They're going to attack. We can play the Ketrodon. We can also ride Zen the Refueler. Can we do both? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, we could do both. Canyon Volta. That's going to hit pretty hard. The Sloop is going to give them so much discard. Do I need to deal with the Mako? Is that something I've got to do? how much mana have they got? 2 mana, but they would have... I don't think they have a counter spell. I don't think they do. Okay, I'm going to play the Ketrodon. Gonna play the Ketrodon. We could exile this now. They have to keep attacking. So I think we're supposed to do that. I think we're supposed to exile the Ranger's Refueler now while it is cheap. Cut off their card advantage. They have to keep attacking for the boosted sloop to be relevant. We did exile our World Wagon, but that is fine. We have tons of mana. We can get in the air with our Velo Heartbite. Okay, trip up the Ketrodon. We keep it on top. 100%. We'll just regain that life, thank you. And we could play out the Canyon Volta. Not really achieving anything. Let's just pass. Damn. The tempo. Still, we'd be trading with either of their creatures here. So they're going to draw discard. I am going to... I'm going to block. I wonder if I'm supposed to keep the Molt Tender or the Brightfield Glider. I think I'm going to throw the Glider away. Because they do still have to contend with this Ketrodon. We could even play out the 3-1 here. Be mana efficient. And now, they've got to run out of gas at some point. Okay. They have no more looting. They do have a kill spell. I can still double block their creatures. They have had just so much gas, though. So I guess, would I trade these both? Is the point of speed worth it? Oh, I don't have an attack. No attacks. We do have the double block, though. Road Rage is very good. Yeah, okay. So I guess I'm just going to soak up 4, take 3, see if we can rip something off the top. That's a pretty good one. Pretty good, but we need to draw a little bit of gas here. We need the opponent to brick a little bit. They have drawn absolute gas. They've had a ton of removal spells, ton of good tempo plays. Mako not that exciting here. Because I'm hoping that they're out of cycling stuff. They're not. Howler's Heavy is incredible right here. And now we're probably too low. Our life total is too low for us to really get out of this. So that's fair enough. I mean, opponent had a ton of gas. Really good. Really good deck. We're chump blocking. And if they have any discard effect, then they win. It looks like they do. Oh, actually, they can just outpace Oblivion. So yeah, okay. Lethal on the board. Bad start. Alright, made a little change. I cut that Malt Tender, brought in a Brightfield Glider, and added one more of the country roads or whatever. Oh yeah, this. Added this. So, double white here. Opponent goes first. Some playable cards in hand. This is probably keepable, but could be very, very awkward. Yeah, very awkward indeed. Still, if we can, like, draw land and somewhat curve out. If we can find a green source, we'll be in absolutely fine shape. They're going to counter this. Okay, so it looks like they have a Spectral Interference. So we will need to play around that. I mean, if we're not going to draw any lands on the draw, there's not really... Like, what were we ever going to do about it? Don't care if I get hit with this thing. Okay, 3 in the air. Canyon Volta plus World Wagon is, of course, very good if we can get there. But we can't. We cannot get there. This is a crew 1. Okay. We do what we can, but can't do much. Wretched Doll, not so scary, although the Surveil is very good. If we can just draw land, play out our stuff, and then we have Rise from the Wreck to win a grindier game. But we need this forest. Locust Spray. I think I'm taking this double block. We get a 1/1 back anyway. Okay. I guess I can't really complain about that. And we got no attacks here. We can exile something. It's a good play there. Okay. Nothing we can do. That's pretty good. Drawing land is good. Okay. If they have the spectral interference... Okay, they don't. Might have been better to play the Velo Heart Bike there and hold up Ride's End again, but... It is okay. Down to 2. Can I get like... Oh, that's actually sick. That's actually sick. Can gain a bunch of life. I have to disciple. Oh my god, I don't have the mana to do both. I can do both. No, I can't. Oh my god, I can't do it. Oh, grim. That is really rough. I can't crew the World Wagon. Could I make a pilot? 1, 2, sack, make a pilot. We have 2 left over, so it's not going to be for lifelink. Okay. Is there any way out of this for me? I need 4 blockers. I have 1 removal spell. There's no way out of this, right? Yeah. Crew 4? No. Not having the land means... Like, if we had 1 more land, I think we'd have enough mana to do it. I mean, that was never in the cards. The mulligan was bad. We were mana screwed for a while. Our opponent... I think we could have beaten that deck, but we fell too far behind. So we were immediately punished really hard for the tap land that we added in and the Brightfield Glider over Malt Tender. So I have taken the Brightfield Gliders out, added 2 Malt Tenders so that that does not happen again. This is, again, a really rough hand. No green. Let's just mull it. Okay, we'll keep this. Put back the Jaguar. Our mana, honestly, our mana is so good in this deck, but we're still managing to get screwed. I don't like playing Glory Heath Links in this spot, but we'll do it because we have Hazard of the Dunes. I'd rather just curve into that. If they have a removal spell for it, so be it. Nothing. So then we're going to start our engines. Draw a card. Looks like the opponent doesn't have anything. Okay. Off to the races here. Oh dear. Whoops. I want to mount the attack. Play out our Malt Tender. Now they just never really have an attack. Well, that's all the planes out of our deck. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Not going to Malt Tender here. We don't need to. We're going to use it to attack instead. Crash and Burn deals 6. Playing Hazard of the Dunes here because it's the bigger threat right now. Okay, alright, we're 1 and 2. We're playing in hard mode, but we'll see what we can get done. It is going to take some flawless execution to cash this draft. Slow, but keepable. We have all of our colors. Lumbering Worldwagon comes down on 3. That's already good. We don't really have a way to crew it, but that is fine. We might draw a way to crew it. Lagorin. Lagorin is interesting. Do I want to just ramp? I kind of do just want to ramp. Lagorin is not... Oh, that's good. We have the Ketrodon to deal with the Lagorin, though. Veloheart Bike. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything. +1/+1 Vigilance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, so... a bit awkward. But we're just passing this turn. I actually think we put the Light Wheel enhancement somewhere, so that when the Ketrodon comes down... we can just crew an attack. Hazard of the Dunes. Okay, they tapped out. So I am actually going to Ride's End the Death Toucher. That's what I'm more afraid of. The Ketrodon is going to deal with the Lagorin. Our life total is nice and high. Ride's End on the Death Touch creature felt a little bit weird, but I think it was correct. Because they just don't have a good block now. Okay, Ride's End is good. Any creature. Any creature with power 2 or more. That is an incredible one. So we crew. We crew. Missing out on a point of damage because I forgot to play my land. Which would mean Lotus Guard Disciple would be lethal next turn, so big stupid for me. It wouldn't be lethal because they have a Hazard of the Dunes which blocks it. And the Lagorin. Our own Hazard of the Dunes. Okay, what's my attack here? I guess I'm crewing you with this and you over here and then just sending, and then they double block over here, they trade, and I'm left with the better board. I think that's right. Because they have to trade off their entire board here. Yeah, I think keeping the Lagorin is greedy. There we go. And now we have Hazard of the Dunes activation. Plus 2 damage in the air. So we can just attack. They have to trade these off. Down to 1. We're at max speed. That is 2 creatures. That is 2 creatures. So I guess we're going to attack in the air. That is our vector for success. Sweet. 2-2, we broke even. 4 games, haven't seen Samut even 1 time. And that trend continues. We'll keep this. Venom Sac Lagak with the Light Wheel enhancements is nothing to be sniffed at. And we can do it all on, like, we can curve 2, 3 plus Light Wheel enhancements. Malt Tender can be for later. Cycle a Ketrodon. They must be looking maybe for a forest. An Elvish Refueler. Ain't that something? Okay. Yeah, Vigilance, Death Touch, baby. Sure. Okay, some very powerful stuff coming out of the opponent's gate. Guess I'll just play the dumb 4/4. Does keep things at bay for a minute. Okay, taking a humble 2. Opponent is down to 1 card. So, let's play our Malt Tender. It is going to saddle. We are going to attack. Vigilance 6/6. Three speed, Hazard of the Dunes to follow it up. They have a much more powerful late game, but it's fairly even on the board right now, right this minute. Land is a bit shit. So they can, this becomes a 5/5. So they can trade both of these away. I think I'm definitely down for that. So I'm just attacking all. And we have Hazard of the Dunes, Exhaust available. They don't have excellent blocks any which way. Alacrian Jaguar, honestly, not as bad as people think. So I'm going to let them keep their 5/5. And I am absolutely going through the Refueler and the 2/2. The card advantage and the repeatable Exhaust are now off the field. They are left with just a 5/5. And light wheel enhancements to boot. Very nice. We can make an even bigger Jaguar. Rocky Roads make a pilot. So. Crew, attack. I mean, we could just... Crew, attack. Trade these off. Yeah, I think I've got him chump blocking. Sweet. This is a trade, and they're left with a burner rocket and a 1/1. We will wait and see where we want to put the light wheel enhancements. Wild Roads is not bad. It does at least make a 1-1. Okay, let's do this. Go get him, Malt Tender. Yeah. Okay, we trade with the burner rocket. We make a 1-1. We make a 2-2. That felt like a land. Now that I've got the mountain, I think I'm just sending this. Trade with the Lagak. Gain a life. Lightning Strike my 1-1 token. Love to see it. Okay, down to 1. Sweet. Light Wheel Enhancements. Super fun card. I actually picked it as my in the P0 P1 17 lands challenge. I picked it as like I think top 3 white commons. Like, I don't think it's actually that good. I think Ride's End, like, it wouldn't draw me into white, whereas, like, Ride's End would. This is good. Let's keep this. Light Wheel Enhancements is so good on a nesting bot, too. Yeah, so definitely not, like, I wouldn't say top white common. But, it's good. If you are in that deck, it is good. Okay. Roadside Blowout. Fair enough. Nothing from the opponent. I wonder what that could mean. Let's just attack. Defend the rider, make a 1-1. Trade with the Malt Tender. Sure. We'll play out our 2-2 flyer. Which carries a Light Wheel Enhancements very well as well. Starting column. It's pretty slow going. And there's a Scurryfoot. So I'm going to put the Light Wheel Enhancement over here. They can make a 3-3, but then we have Ride's End. Jaguar punches through it. I think we are doing okay. We'll have max speed soon, so when the nesting bot does die, we can light wheel enhancements the Jaguar, the Lotus Guard. Thinking. Okay, Mu Yanling is incredible. If we just find a land and exile it, that's kind of the best thing that can happen for us. This is a 3-2 with crew 1. Okay, that's not a land, but it does kind of find a land eventually. So I guess now I have to keep the Lotus Guard Disciple back to block. Because I do not want them to draw a card, if possible. Next turn... Okay, Valor Heartbike is fine. Next turn we can crew, attack. Trade the links with probably one of their vehicles. Finally Samet shows up and we cannot cast it. They have two cards in hand, 3 mana. Okay. Attack with both of these. I'm happy for this trade. I'm happy for this trade. They have 3 mana left, so this bounces off Mu Yanling or trades with one of these two. Then I exile the Mu Yanling and... Okay. Alright. Why do they have 4 mana? Did I? Oh, because of the Valor Heartbite. Alright, that is fine. That is still fine. Cool. They trade off their 3-2 for my 2-2. Still would have made this play if I had seen that line, because we really needed this plains. They are currently tapped out. I think I should just exile the Mu Yanling, but maybe I should wait for them to crew first. I really, really don't want them to counter this spell. But I still think it's better to wait. Jaguar blocks fairly well against their board. Gearseeker Serpent is very large. But we can still attack into the Gearseeker. We can still attack into their board. Samet is a dead card in hand. That makes me very, very sad. Our mana is so good. Trade both of these off for a Gear Seeker. We're left with a 1-1 and nothing to do. Or we take 5, go down to 10. But the Gear Seeker can get us dead pretty quick, so I think this trade is worth it. Because the Gear Seeker, there's nothing we can do to stop that. We could draw another Ride's End, but it's very scary. That's very unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate draw. Wow. Trading off that Molt Tender has absolutely screwed us. They do still, like, their attacks, they can attack for 3. It's not that scary. Just take 3. Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding. Not like this. Our mana is so good. We have 2 Molt Tenders, Lumbering Wild Wagon, Velo Heart Bike, and 3 tapped dual color lands. 2 of them which tap for red. Need Samet to come down, need them to not have an answer to stabilize. Or like draw Ketrodon or Hazard of the Dunes would be fine too. Ride's End. Oh god. So that's just lethal. Well, not quite. But very nearly. I think it's too late. That was too many duds in a row. So, the mistake I made was being aggressive with the Molt Tender. I should have just kept it around. The Defender righted it. So, yeah, should have kept the Molt Tender around. Didn't need to attack with it. Ugh. They have 4, 5, 6 mana, 7. So they can exhaust one of these. See if they do it. No. So I exile one, they exhaust the other. They missed it. Oh, and then they just activate Outpace. Alright. Oh, man. So what makes me feel better about that last game is that if they had the Outpace Oblivion in hand, then even if we had held onto the Molt Tender and played Samet, it would not have made a difference because they could have, they had the removal spell for Samet. Anyway, 3-3. Pretty miserable. Don't like having a 50% win rate. But we did get best of one. Like, I really think our mana was fantastic. And to get mana screwed in that deck is pretty unlucky. And it happened twice. 2 of our losses were attributable to getting mana screwed. Even though our mana base was good, we had excellent fixing. Sometimes it happens. Feels like it happens all the frickin' time. But it probably doesn't. I'm probably just have a bit of confirmation bias. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next episode of Operation Double Mythic. Bye for now.